Gonna make a change.
You need to.
For once in my life. It's gonna feel real good.
Easy.
Gonna make a difference. It's gonna make it right. But first, I'm gonna shoot this episode a visit.
What's that?
It's Man in the Mirror.
Oh,
Gonna make as I turn up my fairy my favourite winter coat.
it's so funny hearing lyrics out of context.
I
'cause
know,
you're
but
like,
it's kind
I
of
know
why I
that.
do it. One of the most enjoyable things is watching the look
watching
on
my
your
face.
Yeah. Of course, I was thinking. Michael Jackson, as you know, sort of came up on Reels or whatever it was, and of course, I went to stay with some friends in London that may or may not have, been part of the old bootlegging when we were pressing vinyl and all of that sort of stuff.
Bootlegging days.
And we were talking about the biggest ones that we had, and two of them were Michael Jackson ones. There was one that was Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and Billie Jean mashup. Last Night a BJ Saved My Life. And the other one was that Don't Stop Till You Get Enough with Q-Tip over it. And both huge records. No, but allegedly, I don't know who actually did them, obviously. But I did receive a cease and desist
I remember that.
letter from Sony.
Oops.
And I remember going to see my solicitor, and I was like, I've got this. He's like, just don't sign it. Just don't. I was like, the thing is, Alan, that might have been his name, it might not.
Alan.
Everybody else is doing it. And he went, doesn't mean it's fucking legal, does it? It's like, fair point.
I remember way back in the mid-90s, might have been early to mid-90s, and there was a news story. It was all about sampling, and it was relatively new still at that point. Lots of people getting sued left, right and centre for sampling things. And I remember seeing someone from Michael Jackson's label saying, if anybody samples any of Michael Jackson's material, we will be, pursuing it in the courts. I immediately went in the studio and went, right, we're making a track with a Michael Jackson sample today.
I was going to say, I did. I sold loads of them, and they did pursue me,
Well, my plan was I'm going to make it so that they have no clue. So, I did record a tune where the main loop was a Michael Jackson. I can't even remember what it was now. I wonder if it might have been Man in the Mirror, something of that era. I looped it. I think I reversed it, did some weird shit. I just thought I'll just make this unrecognisable and then put it out on vinyl.
I've got to say, that Man is some of that older stuff. Because there's a big choir at the end of that Man in the Mirror song.
Yep.
I mean, some of it was really good. I'm not going to start going on about how good Michael Jackson was, but he had a few hits, didn't he?
He did have a few hits.
Like that band, The Beatles.
Like that band, The Beatles. I think, do you know what? I was never a massive Jackson fan, but there was one album that kind of blew my mind, and it wasn't musically as such, it was the production, and that was the Dangerous album. I remember when I got the CD of that, and there was something about the production. I think it was the first time that someone had used Pro Tools entirely. There had not been any tape used at all. And there was a song called Jam. Do you remember Jam?
Do-bop, dee-dop, jam.
There's a lot of stops in it.
Yeah.
And in the stops, it's absolute digital silence between the sections. And no one had ever heard that before.
Yeah.
And it was so sort of, it made such an impact on me. What you could do with digital audio at that point. Yeah,
you got into it. I remember because you were one of the first producers to do a lot of that sort of choppy, vocally sort of stuff on the computers. And I remember that being the first time I'd heard that. Was Scream on that one? You did with Janet.
It was around that time. I think that came after. I'm not sure it was on that album. I don't know.
She's on road, isn't she, at the moment?
She is, yeah, still going. Yeah, I mean, do you remember Control when that came out? That was amazing.
Was it?
Talented family. Just a bit of a...
One of them died recently, didn't they? It's an Alan moment.
It's an Alan moment.
Yeah.
Shame about all the stuff with the kids, really.
Was it Tito, Dozy, Beaky, Mick, Titch?
Titch, I don't know. Sleepy, Snoozy. I don't know.
Yeah.
A whole bunch
well,
of
again, shame about all the stuff with the kids. Yeah, I guess.
Other than that,
Other than that, really nice bloke.
Let's get on with this.
Okay, what are we looking at today?
We're looking at getting sued again. Not for doing dodgy bootlegs, but for doing dodgy YouTube videos and slandering everyone. Luckily, it's all just allegedly. Allegedly. Just use that word. Anyway, this is a really interesting one for me because someone contacted me via my Instagram clearly knew that I was the same person that does this, and said, have you checked out the Tone Boosters Equalizer Pro? And I said, no, I haven't. I've not even heard of it. Let's have a look. So I went and downloaded a few demos from Tone Boosters. And yeah, so this is the Tone Boosters Equalizer Pro. And I was very, very shocked. I kind of thought, what? How do I not know about this? So this thing has, brace yourself. Do you remember when we looked at the
I knew you were going to say this.
Well, when we looked at the gyrator EQ, and I said it has 13 filter types. You went, there's not 13 filter types. Try and name them, and we couldn't name more than 4.
Yeah, but this is a different. Go on.
This has 482 filter shapes.
Filter shapes. What? But I think that what they're saying is because you can use as many nodes as you like. So surely it's across those nodes.
No. So any one node can be one of 482 filter types.
Well, that's just Q.
It's not Q.
You can't go. I don't mean that's one filter type. There's another. There's another.
Let me.
There's another.
Let me.
Oh, well,
let me expand on that.
And then we've got.
He's still going.
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, you have. Well, I'll come to this a bit. There's something else impressive. So you can have a regular bell shape. You can have a shelf. You can have a knot.
I've got a pretty regular bell shape.
Stop it. That's ridiculous.
God, sorry.
Also, do you remember the EQ? I can't remember who did it now, but the EQ where you could separately EQ the transient from the sustain. It was split EQ. I can't remember who did it. This does that as well. So any node can be transient. It can be the sustain. It can be both a direct and ambient. So you can EQ something that is at part of the ambience of the signal. It can also be, like you can see here, a sibilant one. So this basically it's a de-esser.
Right.
You can EQ something that's a background node. So something specifically analyzes the material, and let's say there's something pushed back in the mix with reverb, you'll be just EQing that.
What?
You can run an external sidechain. It also has brick wall filters, so like literally you can filter, so not like a 10, like a 12, 24 or 6 or whatever, you can go wallop.
Straight.
It's incredible. You can do so much, and so like within one EQ itself you could have your de-esser set up. This node here maybe could be dynamic. This one here could maybe be dealing with something in the background. It's absolutely insane. You want another node, you just double click and there it is.
Wow.
So it's insane how flexible it is. Also, each one supports up to 64 channels, so you could run this for an immersive mix for Atmos. I mean, how cool is that?
64 channels.
Yes. So you could have 64 channels of audio flowing through an EQ.
Okay. Hell.
Yeah. Clever shit. There's some other stuff which I really, really like. So you can, it sounds trivial, but I think it's important. The whole thing, you can color code it however you want. You can recolor any of the nodes just so that you can see what you're doing. If you want to remember what a specific node is doing, you want to remember it in a specific way. It does EQ matching, so you can load in something that has an EQ curve you like. It will analyze it and then replicate
That's very cool.
You can totally customize the analyzer. You can click down here to do that kind of stuff. It's so customizable in how you can make it look and make it work. You can see here for this dynamic node here, that yellow section that's the sort of the amount of dynamic range in that section. You click there's your threshold, there's your range, there's your attack, blah blah blah.
Insane.
You can move this around, so you can put this window anywhere you like. You can solo any band you want just by clicking on the little headphone thing. It's insanely flexible, and on top of all of that, it sounds phenomenal.
Who's this by?
This is by someone called Tone Boosters, and I literally look playing with it, going, "Well, I'm kind of going to have to sack off
everything else I've got."
Not from a point of view.
Stuff,
I've got a lot of beautiful EQs that have some amazing colour that are great, and I'm going to keep using those. But if I just want a clean digital EQ that's going to achieve a job, this is it. It literally blew me away. I was pretty stunned at how cool it is.
And where are they from? Who are they? Tell us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just called tone boosters. They have a lot of plugins. We're going to look at some more of them.
Yeah.
They have a lot of plugins, and if
And
they're
this was from
anywhere
the
near as good
from
as this,
Instagram.
yeah, yeah,
Good Lord.
yes, absolutely incredible.
Anything? I was going to say anything more to add, but that's a fairly substantial amount.
Yeah,
of
no, that's
information.
about it for now. Yeah.
So demo.
There is a demo. It runs as long as you like. You just can't save, which is good because it means you can use it and you can bounce stuff through it and all the rest of it. It's a little bit annoying in that the second you close your session, it comes back. It's all back to zero. But it runs forever, so you can get a good chance to play with it.
That's a good. I think that's a good way to demoing stuff because, like you say, it gives you the opportunity to do stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Blimey. And then, so if you wanted to buy it so that you could save it,
Well, this is the bit where you need to hold your breath. Obviously, this is a very, very fully featured EQ.
I thought this was. Yeah, go on.
It's €59. 59 euros. It's insane, isn't it? That's insane. I was looking at the price.
Undermines
What?
everything that.
Well, I think
a lot of these big complex EQ manufacturers.
I'm sure there's someone who's using Pro Q3 who's thinking, no, this doesn't. You know, this. I can't think of anything Pro Q3 does better than this, and basically they're the same kind of thing. So this incredibly flexible, incredibly easy to see what you're doing. It's an EQ that will get 99% of your EQing jobs done, and then you have your colourful EQs for adding the sounds. But yeah,
Amazing.
pretty amazing.
So I think I know what you're going to say.
Yes.
Is the Tone Boosters Equalizer Pro at €59 with an indefinite demo?
Yes.
Shit.
No, it's an amazing plugin. I'm amazed I didn't know about it.
Yeah. I'm amazed you didn't know about it.
It's staying, this one. It's
Yeah.
a good one. It's a good one. We'll see. Maybe we'll come back in a month or two and see if I found anything that it's not good at. But so far,
And you say they've got loads of plugins, so we'll have a look at some more.
lots of plugins. We're definitely going to look at some more.
Excellent stuff.
Yep.
Before we do that,
Yes.
should we ask these lovely people
Yeah.
if they'll like the video?
Yeah, let's do that. And maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member.
And go and have a look at the Instagram and check out the links, especially to the top 5 in the box below.
That's a good idea. And there's also links to my mixing courses. And I've got a new course all about compression if you wanted to have a look at that. Whole bunch of stuff, and it's all down there.
Until next time, sayonara, suckers.
Adios.